Hello, everyone. It's Scott, and we're back with our first look at Aetherdrift. This week, you've seen the Aetherdrift story come out on Magic Story, so we've got a pretty good idea of the events of the set at this point. But we've only had a few cards officially previewed at this point, and I want to take a look at those before we see preview cards officially start on Tuesday. So let's take a look at the cards they've spoiled so far. So our first one is Doretti, Rocketeer Engineer. For 5 mana, you're getting a legendary creature that's a Goblin Artificer, and his power is equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control, and his toughness is 5. And whenever Doretti enters or attacks, choose target artifact card in your graveyard, and you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return the chosen card to the battlefield. So I think this is a really powerful card. The question is, are we going to have an artifact focused deck that wants this kind of ability in it? But really interesting card design, and a great way to get artifacts back from the graveyard. So if you've got artifacts that you use and then sacrifice, this is a great way to just get those back. Next, we've got Bright Glass Gearhulk. For 2 green and 2 white mana, you get an artifact creature that's a construct and is a 4/4. It's got first strike and trample, and when this creature enters the battlefield, you may search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle. So really powerful ability on Bright Glass Gearhulk. And I can see this certainly as a card that if we do have a Selesnya deck in Standard, that deck would definitely want to have something like this, because you basically are getting to draw 2 when you play this, on top of getting a 4/4 body with first strike and trample. Now, we also know from details from the set that we're going to get a cycle of Gearhulks with Aetherdrift. So I expect to see in the next couple of days other color pairs that we're going to get construct Gearhulks from. All right, and that brings us to our third card, and that's Lifecraft Engine. For 3 mana, you get an artifact that's a vehicle. It's a 4/4, and as this vehicle enters, choose a creature type. Vehicle creatures you control are the chosen creature type in addition to their other types. Each creature you control of the chosen type other than this vehicle gets +1/+1. So very powerful card here. First, you're getting a nice 4/4 vehicle that crews for 3, so that's not bad on its surface. But the nice thing here is that if you're playing a creature deck that is focused on, say, goblins or wizards or whatever it is, this is going to boost those creatures and make all of your artifact vehicles that as well. So I think this is a very interesting card, and I think we'll have to see how much standard playability it sees. But I definitely like the design concept on this one, kind of being that artifact that gives everything a +1/+1 boost that's only to a specific kind of creature, but then also having that ability to be a vehicle as well, I think is very good in Standard. All right, and the last card we've gotten that's been previewed so far is Earth Rumbler. For 4 and a green mana, you get an artifact vehicle that's a 7/6. It has vigilance and trample. Exile an artifact or creature card from your graveyard. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn, and it crews for 3. So kind of vanilla. It is an uncommon, but I think it's certainly something that if we do have a big artifact vehicle deck, this is certainly a card that I want to consider for that. Being able to, in essence, crew it for free by exiling a creature or an artifact, I think is a really nice ability on this. And I think that's going to make it much easier to crew this than we've seen with other vehicles that don't have a 1 or 2 cost to crewing them. So I like this, and I think there's a place for it in Standard. Again, that question is going to be is what kind of vehicle deck are we going to see developed, and in what colors more specifically. All right, so those are our early previews from Aetherdrift. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe to get further content like this throughout Aetherdrift preview season and beyond. Thanks. I'll see you next time.